The one thing Republicans have to stop doing, quit whining about her. We knew it was going to be her.
Do you think that this campaign is floundering on that point?
I want this campaign to win. But the campaign is not going to win talking about crowd sizes. It's not going to win talking about what race Kamala Harris is. It's not going to win talking about whether she's dumb. It's not. You can't win on those things. The American people are smart. Treat them like they're smart.
That was Nikki Haley, a former Republican rival to Donald Trump, who tried to primary him for that top seat, tried to be the presidential nominee of the Republicans, pleading with Donald Trump to switch up his strategy when it comes to winning in the general. Because if you heard anything she said, talking about race, gender, how she's dumb, speaking of Kamala Harris, that was actually the line that Donald Trump used to win against Nikki Haley. So I'm not sure what we're talking about because it actually won when it came to Republican voters. But again, Trump is trying to appeal to all voters, to undecided voters, to independent voters. And now we know not only donors are trying to plead with him to change course, to stop doing this Kamala's not really black routine, to actually give some policy proposals instead of just personal attacks. And there you have Nikki Haley doing the same. And again, of course, the crowd sizes, that's also not really hitting with anybody. But it isn't just Nikki Haley, it's also diehard Trumpers like Peter Navarro, who is filling in for Steve Bannon recently on his podcast. And Peter Navarro, fresh out of jail. I mean, I feel like maybe he's seen the light because here he's also echoing what Nikki Haley said.
Trump doesn't need feast now, he needs votes. And the current rally formula is simply not sufficiently focused on the very stark policy differences between him and Kamala Harris that will swing voters in key battleground states. Instead, when Trump attacks Harris personally rather than on policy, Harris's support among swing voters rises, particularly among women. It's just a fact of life right now.
Unfortunately, women can still vote, but we're working hard every day to make sure they can't. That was former advisor Peter Navarro, and also former advisor Kellyanne Conway and Fox News host Larry Kudlow had similar advice for Donald Trump if he is listening.
Don't wander off. Don't call her stupid and all kinds of names. Stay on message.
The winning formula for President Trump is very plain to see. It's fewer insults, more insights, and that policy contrast. He's got that hunger, swagger, underdog, underestimated of 2016.
Again, I think personal insults to her is not a good idea. Really, not a good idea. It's a distraction. It's unnecessary. It's off message.
Hey, don't scroll away. Come back. Because before the video continues, we just want to urge you to lend your support to TYT. You power our honest reporting. You do it at tyt.com/team, and we love you for it.
Hey, Mondale, I have to get you to weigh in here. It's always been about policy over personal attacks with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Is this the same Trump? Who are we talking about?
I'm confused at all about any of this. Like, they're asking Trump to talk about policies like he did when. Trump has never had a policy other than name calling. He's famous for giving people that are running against him names. Ted Cruz, Joe Biden, the Bush brothers. It doesn't matter. Trump has no policies that he can push out other than supremacy. White supremacy is his policy of choice. If you're looking for something other than Trump, then you're looking for a different candidate. There's nothing other Trump can offer as a candidate other than this BS. And I think it's rich for Kellyanne, who was a part of the last administration and also campaign, and the same for Peter Navarro. And it's like, what policies are you all looking for when you all are the ones who deployed Trump to use tactics just like the Willie Horton idea and also that which was the Southern strategy? So you all sold this course and are looking for something different now.
Yeah, and a little bit later we'll see like what kind of policies they actually have, which is very few and far between, mostly racist, anti-immigrant ideas. But like this is exactly what won him the nomination in the first place in 2016, and then won him the presidency. Also, a massive dropping of the ball by the Democratic Party in the choice of Hillary Clinton. But I digress. He is Trump. This is your guy. So Mondale, I don't know what we're doing here. It almost sounds like they're either trying to Trump whisper and trying to get him to change course and teach a dog new tricks, a dog who they worship precisely because he can't be taught new tricks. And he doesn't have anything other than making fun of the way people look or calling her not black and said she was just Indian, right? Like that's all he's got. It's bluster, it's lying, it's bullying. And then when he's actually asked about policy, which we've done before, and Fox News has said, like, hey, let's talk to our voters. This biker gang in North Dakota, they should be pretty chill. And a biker gang member's like, hey, what about housing? And Donald Trump verbatim said, well, we're gonna drill, baby, drill. Cool, do you have a pipeline running through your home? And do you get like money for that? Because like, if not, I'm pretty sure that was a non-answer. So he doesn't actually have policy. It's just that his outsider status, his willingness to be that a-hole has buoyed him up until this point, and the fact that he was a massive windfall for the 1% while in office. It's like, I don't know, come hell or high water, but now they're trying to rein him in. Now the shine is worn off. Also, he's got 34 felony counts. But let's go to a little bit more reporting of CNN from what it's like on the inside. A lot of his advisors are apparently blaming the fact that the press has way too much access to him. They blame unfettered and unrestricted access to the former president as part of the problem. Proponents of some far-right conspiracy theories have direct access to Trump, including his personal cell phone or as members at Mar-a-Lago and his other clubs. I just love that if you pay enough, he'll just give you his cell phone number and then you can text him random YouTube videos about how, Italian satellites were switching votes in 2020. Yes, I'm talking to you, Sidney Powell. They'll regularly call on him or stop by to engage the former president when he's playing golf or eating dinner. Hey, did you investigate the underground pedophile ring? Okay, have a nice golf game. Sorry. Often, aides and advisors do not have the full scope of who is in his ear at any given moment. Another source aligned with Trump described the former president as appearing to be in a spiral, directly referencing his amplification of multiple conspiracy theories, expressing hope that the former president would regain focus of it as the new state of the race became clear. There's a lot of us depending on him, the person said, so he better snap out of it. I mean, Mondale, there is a certain amount of, he is just whining and still pissed and can't get over the fact that just a couple weeks ago he was running against Joe Biden and now he's running against Kamala Harris. And just pivot, do your research, hire the right consultants. I mean, you mentioned Willie Horton. There are a million ways you can run against Kamala Harris in a bad faith way, in a way the Republicans aren't sincere about. But for example, give you an example. What about somebody who was locked up based on her truancy policies as Attorney General in California? A parent, right, who served jail time. It happened. It was bad. You could easily lift that person up, pay them some money, put them on television, and they could talk about how Kamala Harris is a terrible, was like awful to a family, right? They're not doing that because they're not smart about this. They're just stuck in whining. And to the conspiracy theories, it's the AI is her crowd kind of thing. Like this is real bottom of the barrel stuff.
Yeah, I think it's bottom of the barrel, but I also think it's this idea, and what you speak of is not just happening on the Republican parties. If you remember when the Democrats had a candidate that looked and seemed like Trump, i.e. Joe Biden, not in policy-wise or crazy conspiracies, but in age and stumbling and slurring, they too were making the same missteps. What happened is this new candidate that's not a Biden, that's not a Clinton, that's not a Bush, which is basically every ticket for the past 30 or 40 years, then you see this like new breath of excitement of the base. But what I would argue is what it is this is a character of, or I should say a characteristic of our political system and how dumb it is. What I mean by dumb is it's not connected to the people. They're still running Trump as if it's the 60s. Like you need that many, like it's that many racist Southern folk that you can win an election, not realizing that America has brown baby boomers. Of course, it was 90% white, and they were the largest generation. But now you have 20 million plus baby boomers that are gone, they're unalive at this point, and then you have more than that. Zers that have come online that is voters since 2020, 2016. They don't even know how to run an election for the electorate. And I think that is showing up so well when they underestimated how much it meant when you took a white man off the ballot and you made age a one-sided argument. And they can't combat that because they're not prepared and they've never seen an electorate or a candidate in this manner.
Yeah, absolutely. And like the hits just aren't hitting, the old racist tropes. It's like they're gonna be there for the diehards, but the band's gotta come out with a new album, and then they don't have anything. They're actually terrible at playing all instruments and they can't hold a tune. So they only have fear, they only have division. And honestly, to Harris's credit, I am someone who has massive critiques of her. Her staying on this message of being against divisiveness, being for unity, trying to come together, and kind of rising above some of these attacks, honestly, I think has been really, really beneficial to her. And allowing, let's be real, the white guy that they chose on purpose because he was a white guy, Tim Walz, to do all the attacking. But yeah, any thoughts on that, Mondale?
Yeah, I think the DEI hire of Walz was amazing. Like it's like it was perfect. Like this is great because he is what JD Vance play on TV, minus the couch. He is what Donald Trump tried to be, minus the billions of dollars, right? Like this is a veteran who is a populist guy who sounds like the so-called middle of America that America cares so much about. I think this goes back to the idea of like Donald Trump lacks the discipline to be a candidate where he has to really run, where name calling is not working. He lacks the discipline when the model that was The Apprentice does not work to pick a president. So Mr. Pillar, Kanye West, and Ice Cube can't save him this election cycle.
If you enjoyed this video, that's because of our members. They make us independent, they make us strong, and they make us honest. Become a member today by hitting the join button below.